now Europe is facing so many challenges from China, from Russia, but we are so divided. Why? And why is it so difficult to start joint initiative and actions? And why, using Angela Merkel's wording, do not Russian missiles or Chinese ships, yet German cars suddenly pose as threats to the US security?
But I'd just like to stake out the positions on what we've been doing on the security front the last few years, which clearly indicate that we're not going anywhere. The United States security is linked directly to European security, and we're here and we're demonstrating that on a daily basis with our forward deployments, leadership in that area, also with our institutional stance from Congress sending the largest delegation in history to the Munich Security Conference to show it's just not about one president or one person in the United States, how we feel about transatlantic relationship.
The biggest challenge we are all facing is the aggression by Putin's Russia, or Russia's Putin in both ways. So we have to be very clear on that. It's the occupation of Crimea, as we all know. It's the situation in Donbass, the aggression there, the violation of INF. In the case of Germany, very strongly the disinformation campaigns we are facing. So the worst thing we can do, or the best thing to serve Putin, is to struggle internally, and to struggle visibly internally, or even facing a certain infight in the alliance. So we have to be clear that NATO is still the joint guarantee against this aggression we are facing, and what we see what is happening in Ukraine, for example.
In the opinion of many European politicians, President Donald Trump does not care about the views or interests of the Europeans. And perhaps a kind of provocative question, why does President Trump see traditional European alliance as economic rivals only?
Donald Trump is an American president. Donald Trump's first responsibility is for the United States. Donald Trump says America first. Now, what does any leader in the world say otherwise? Chancellor Merkel, Germany first, obviously. De Gaulle, Macron, whatever, any leader who does not say my country first is a traitor. Obviously enough, you can help other countries, you can cooperate with other countries, but putting the interests of your country first is an obligation, a duty of every political leader. Now, we all know that the United States has its share of problems, economic and otherwise. We know that the United States spends a lot of money on international issues, whether it's military or economic, assistance, presence, and so on and so on. And we all know that Europe, for the last 20 years at least, it has been a free rider. NATO means the United States. Without the United States, NATO security guarantees don't exist.
When I hear President Trump saying America first, I think he's just sincere, and perhaps he's doing away with hypocrisy. We have lots of hypocrisy in international relations, and this is a normal part of international relations. But be aware that when we in Poland, at least some part of Poles, hear that Germany is thinking about the whole Europe, not about Germany first, we think first about Nord Stream 2, the topic that we've been speaking about, and second about so many other topics, like trade, like companies, like public help for industry, in which it is very well seen that Germany has been putting, and this is normal, I'm not judging that bad.
What is the secret of Hungary's foreign policy, and what are the interests of Hungarian government?
Powers, and Viktor Orban has been always trying to maneuver between global superpowers, so that's his key sort of modus operandi when it comes to foreign politics. I think it's worth mentioning that like bilateral relations, American-Hungarian relations were quite frosty during the Obama administrations, that the Obama administration was quite harshly criticizing the democratic backsliding and the anti-democratic like sort of policies of the Hungarian government. And it not necessarily changed right after Trump took power, despite the fact that the Hungarian Prime Minister was the first who endorsed Trump. Due to the shared values when it comes to anti-immigrant, anti-PC, anti-establishment sort of shared values, but also because, and I think his calculation was quite correct, that Viktor Orbán was aiming for a sort of a shift in terms of the approach of the United States, that the Trump administration is not going to interfere and they're not going to try to restrict the Hungarian government when it comes to democratic backsliding.